Hey everybody, welcome back. Now, it's been a very long time since we've taken a look at the Intermountain ES44ACs, and if you recall, the last time was the Norfolk Southern Heritage units. Had purchased all 10 of the Norfolk Southern Heritage units, which now sit in a case. I do run them occasionally, but Intermountain has been cranking out ES44ACs in a lot of varieties, and they recently have just upgraded the motors, so I want to take a second look at the Intermountain ES44ACs. We're going to be taking a look at Union Pacific early versions, late versions such as this here, the Citirail, and a couple other schemes, so you can see a whole variation of ES44ACs that Intermountain is putting out and continues to announce runs of. So, coupled with ESU Lokesound, I think it's a very nice locomotive that we need to take a look at yet again. So with that said, let's start on the review of the Intermountain ES44AC, starting right now. Alright, we're going to start with unboxing. This is the latest run, improved motor. We will do pull tests and check all the good functions of this locomotive. That ESU Lokesound literature includes operator's guide, talks about functions in here, and it's about a 3 or 4 page document here. It looks like 2 pages, but 4 if you look at front and back. And correction of the F8 function key. So if you want to read that, please pause. Otherwise, we're going to move along and unbox the locomotive. Kind of standard, what you see a lot in the industry, plastic packaging sleeve, coupled with some nice soft plastic to protect the model from scratches from the hard plastic brackets, and the protection of the handrails here. So we'll remove these foam things and take a closer look at this model. Alright, I think we're close enough to take a nice peek at the model here. Starting at the nose of the locomotive, you've got metal couplers, you have MU hoses with silver tipped ends, accessory hoses, anti-climber that's yellow striped for the later yellow silled locomotives there. You have the separately applied grab irons, nose, LED headlights, separately applied grabs on the top of the nose here, along with sand filler hatches. You have a nose door that's molded in. You have etched metal windshield wipers. You have number boards here. You have the PTC antenna array coming along the side here. You'll see the cab window sunshade. 8104 is one of the later runs of the C45AH or ES44AC. UP designated that as C45AH. You have safety tread on the walkways, really durable stanchions but thin plastic along the edge here. You've got a brake wheel in the back, sight glass on the fuel tank, nice truck detail with the springs there, UP Building America, and the UP flag is nice, appropriate size, and a nice attempt at the colors of the UP flag. Coupler cut levers front and back. You see the MU hoses here. Coupler cut levers are located here. The handrails, just got to make sure that they're plugged in here. They're very sturdy, they just need to be plugged in. And if you want to reinforce that with a little bit of glue, you can. You have the radiator fan grills back here. For the radiator section, you have the exhaust, and you have the dynamic brake fan area over here. Now, one nice deviation of the later Gevos is you've got a different grill configuration, and you can see that 3-dimensional depth as these radiator or these dynamic brake fan grills come out a little bit from the body, so that's nice detail. Adorned with a whole bunch of warning labels, as you can see on the roof. All these little marks here are warning labels that, to my knowledge, from what I can see, are somewhat clear under magnification. and the rear has the LED lights too. So that's about it that I'm going to cover on detail. Had to go kind of quick with you guys because we're going to take a look at several different schemes, and then we'll run a few for the final run by. So let me go ahead and pull those schemes and we'll take a look. Here is the GE 5000th GEVO. This is the 5000th locomotive that was created with special labels for UP. That has been rerun with a stronger motor. So I'll just give you the quick once around on that. And I'm going to show you a couple different schemes on top of this. This is the Ferrosur scheme. As you can see, the old dome style antenna and some differences in paint scheme and different accoutrements, like the antenna different, not all PTC. They look at actual details. Nice front black and white striped snowplow. Still we get the MU hoses with the silver tipped ends and all that, but painted in a different paint scheme and nicely done. Very sharp locomotive there. Now we're taking a quick look at the early ES44AC, or C44 ACTE, or C45 ACCTE I should say, and that has a dome style antenna. It has a lot of the same features, still the yellow sill, same as the late model, but as you notice here, different configuration on the dynamic brake intake vents here than the late model, which has that separate configuration there. So there's a difference in how Intermountain takes basically era specific details and difference as well. Another big difference on the radiator fan grills back here, how they're separate, and they have like a higher level on these than on these. So there's just some of the differences, a lot of other differences on the model, but it shows you what Intermountain goes to in terms of creating the differences on those two types of models, and several different road names, like a couple that we still have to look at. Now to one of the most popular schemes, and to my knowledge sold out on this run, but they have another run coming up, so if you guys are looking for this Citirails, I would place a pre-order through your dealer or whatever. But they have these Citirails, which are very nicely done and a very popular scheme because leasing company that runs with BNSF, I believe, mostly primarily BNSF, but seen quite a bit around, and very, very nicely done. Very captivating scheme with that silver, yellow, and blue. I think that's blue. I'm colorblind. It might be purple. Who knows? But as you can see, the striping on the front. You've got silver ditch lights. Again, the MU hoses. A lot of nice detail, dome style antenna. Just a real beautiful finish on this, but still with the late model GEVOs, but Citirail still hasn't converted to PTC on that run. So late model GEVO, but still the dome antenna. Again, another example of how Intermountain is doing road name, road number specific type detail there. So really sharp scheme, really high in demand. So that's it for showing all the schemes. Now we're going to get into some of the tests, and I'll leave you guys with a run by. So I like using the manual to see what sounds are advertised in here. And the very front talks about F function 8, I should say, that's sound on, sound off. So a lot of people expect the sounds to move right when you are actually starting up the engine or moving the engine. That's not the case. The sounds won't start up until you hit F8, so we'll do that. So there you have the sound startup. Now these locomotives won't move until the startup sequence is complete. We're going to go ahead and test some other functions. Headlights, a nice bright white LED. F1 is bell. F2 is horn. There's really good response time with that ESU decoder. F3's coupler clink. F4 dynamic brake. You have F6 ditch lights. F5 is supposed to trigger number board lights, and it does. Just a little hard to see with the light on. F7 is the dimmer, which works. Dims the headlight slightly. F8 turns the sounds off or goes into shutdown. F9 is manual notching up and down, along with F10. 11's compressor. So you can turn that on and off. Slow spitter, F12. So there's also a lot of other sounds, radiator fan, brake set. I mean, it goes all the way up to F19. It may include other functions as well. So these are just a few of them. We're going to go ahead and move this thing. See how well it moves under slow speeds. Check the decoder control. One speed step. Wow, very, very smooth there. Two speed steps. 3, 4, and 5. Very, very smooth under slow speeds. We'll check reverse motor control as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So very, very nice, slow motor speed control, very quiet. And we'll go ahead and move on to testing. Pull tester is attached and on. Another locomotive on my layout on address 3 also kicked on, so don't really pay attention to the noise because it's not necessarily from this locomotive. But we'll go ahead and check the pull test here. Well, I can really feel this thing moving. We got 3.5. Here's a coupler height check, and dead on the KD coupler height gauge. For the back, gave you guys a little more scenery with the Citirail version here as I test this aspect of the locomotive, and dead on the front too, as you see there, so good. And we'll now look at the NMRA gauge. So this is an NMRA standards gauge. You use it for several different things. I like to check wheels with it. I'm going to just give you an example here of how you check wheel flanges. A little hard to capture that with my fat hand and arm, but as you see there, we're checking wheel flanges. They appear to all be engaged. Yep, so good to go. So everything is on point with this locomotive. So here's a scale. We're going to do a DC version real quick. 1 pound, 1 ounce, 17 ounces, 480 grams, 0.480 kilograms. Then we'll do DCC and sound to see if it's a little heavier. It is indeed at 1 pound 0.09, or 1 pound, 1.4 ounces, 17.4 ounces, 495 grams, 0.495 kilograms. So there's your weight on both DC and DCC. Well guys, for an MSRP of $299.95 for the DCC and sound versions, or $199.95 for the DCC only or DC versions of this locomotive, the prices are good, especially with discounts at brick and mortar hobby shops, online retailers. You can get these for very, very good prices. Citirails are sold out, like I mentioned earlier, but they're taking a second run. You might be able to find them different places around, but they're sold out through Intermountain. But they are doing the other run, so I would get with your dealer or an online hobby shop to pre-order the second run of those, because they're very, very popular. But overall, the second run of this ES44ACs that we just tested have improved pulling power. I noticed 0.2 to 0.4 ounces more in the previous run. It's supposed to have better torque. It's got a more improved motor, and I was able to pick up on that through my tests. Fortunately, I couldn't do any inclines for you guys to see if it had more torque on grades, and eventually maybe I'll install some grades to test that on my layout. But overall, everything else I tested was awesome. ESU Loc Sound is great. Just knocks out of the park in models when they put the ESU Loc Sound in, and Intermountain made a good decision there. They've got durable and nice detailed locomotives, and all the tests went well, as you saw firsthand. So hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you guys enjoyed the review, and I'll let you decide whether you'd like to pick a few of these puppies up. I'm going to leave you with a run-by of something I haven't done in a while, a power consist going across my bridge. So we'll just have all power consist of a bunch of different ES44ACs like the ones we looked at here going across the bridge, for a little scenic run-by for you guys to close this video out, and we'll see you next time right here on my channel. Take care.